So we'll get there.
It's good. I'm looking at you and not somewhere else. It's like
yeah, so you'll just focus on the information, and then I'm going to go into the channel and getting in there and just, yep, we're good.
Ask me questions if you see that I'm stuck, and I'll close this cell phone.
Right. So we are good. So I'll just give them a few minutes to get in here because I'll find all that stuff. It's on live. So
I can put the link later for my people. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you can add it later, and as soon as we download it and everything, I'm just.
Yeah. I'll do it later. I don't want to stress myself with that now.
Nope.
Because it's the first time, and I want to be as much as I can, you know.
Right. Exactly. So we'll give people a couple minutes to get in there, and then we're gonna. I like bringing on talking to real people that have gone through their process of healing, and then learning those modalities and teaching others and helping others to get through their healing. And that's what I liked about your energy. It was just so real and genuine, and that's what we need in this world. And that's what's important. And I feel that people want to hear the true stories of people's real journeys, and that's why I thought it'd be great to bring you on and talk about and where, you started from, where you're from, all that stuff, So you can go ahead and start with your story.
Okay. Hearing from you saying that I'm genuine and real, it's first time to tell you the truth. Most people, okay, let's not go to the most people. Thank you. But really, thank you.
You're welcome.
It means a lot to me. Yes, my story. Well, can I start? I'll start from the beginning. That one point in life that I knew that it's much different than we heard. And It was like around 4 or 5 years old. I don't remember, but I was tiny. And my sister, she was smaller than I am. She was sitting beside me, but there was chaos around us. It was like 6.9 decibel earthquake in the area. And all the grown-ups were running like crazy, leaving us like in a corner there. And we were scared, crying, feeling that just we left there alone, and it was so fearful. I remember until now. But then you know what happened suddenly? I saw in the wall like procession of gnomes, tiny, beautiful, colorful. And suddenly one of them turned to me and looking at me like surprised that I can see him. And I remember myself screaming and crying, "Oh, don't go, don't leave me too, stay with me." And he was just looking at me like so surprised, and they were so beautiful. I remember the colors, I remember the music. They had those jingle bells on their legs, and they were thumping with it when they were crossing. And it was such a beautiful picture with those hats, with jingle bells and the red color, some green color. And I'm telling this story almost first time. Not many people knowing about this story.
Okay.
Yeah, and they left, like, looking at me and playing that music. They had such I don't know how to call those instruments, but they were special. It was, since then I knew that something is there, and I was looking for it. But, when I was growing, then I told myself, okay, I never told it to anyone, not to my parents, because I knew already by then that there's no point to tell them anything like that, because they will freak you somewhere. 20 years passed when I was like feeling, okay, maybe I just imagine, I was just a child, and all those excuses, But then after 20 years, approximately 18 years, I'm coming back to my parents' home, and my sister showing my mother a huge painting she's done. And she was very, creative those days. And I'm looking at it. Oh my God, Jenny. It was exactly what I saw. Exactly.
Mhm.
I started like to hear again the music. That music never left me. I heard it once more somewhere. I'll tell you later about it. And I was, wow, I was sure, like now, like I was sure that I didn't imagine it because the second person saw it and just drew it completely in details. It was so beautiful. Yeah. And since then, I was looking.
That's
I
awesome.
was looking everywhere for, okay, what I saw. But life always some kind of happened to me. I couldn't connect, but I knew that something is there, and I had so many experiences in life. Many times people were just coming to me and asking me question about their life and their other people in their life. And I remember a couple of times, I was telling them, why are you coming to me? I don't even know those people. I don't know your life. I don't know barely I know who you are. They don't know, you know.
Hmm.
And when person telling me, I just accept it. And it
Right.
always happened to me. And I just was sitting quietly, going within. I wasn't conscious doing it, not what I'm doing now. Then
Right.
I was completely unconscious, but I was doing it. I was going within and just connecting to them somehow. And then I knew that for 3 minutes, and I knew the answer. And it was so amazing. It was just coming out of me. So many
Right.
times it happened. Or people asking me something and I'm giving them answer, just coming out of me. And 20 years after, it was true.
Yeah. It's that instinct that tells you the knowing,
It's the
and
knowledge.
yes, it's the knowing, and it just drives you to seek the truth.
Yeah.
It drives you to desire the truth and wanting to figure out the big puzzle of everything. And this is the thing that people don't understand. The people that are really gifted in listening, there you always check and make sure you're right. You're always listening. Did I do this right? Did I feel this energy feel right? Did I proceed properly? There's always this checkpoint in your mind of making sure that you're balanced and you're doing it right. So it's a guide. It's
Mhm.
a guide to keep you balanced and humble, I think,
Yeah.
in that process.
Yeah. And moreover than that, because of that image that I saw in my childhood, I was questioning everything already. I was paying attention.
Right.
I don't know how to. I'll give you by examples, by my stories. It will be more understandable. For instance, in school,
Uh-huh.
I was growing in communist Russia. We left when I was 12, but I was growing in communist Russia. And in coming to school, and everywhere there's slogans, I'm translating from Russian, all from one, all for one for all, and all kind of slogans,
Right.
learn, and bullshit. But then people from the government, we calling them, coming and starting. And I lived in the area of all religions, and we
Hmm.
lived together. It was like we're celebrating all the, all everything together. It was like friends.
Right.
But they were coming and they were saying, "Oh, counting the heads." That's what I'm translating now. Let's count the heads of different religions. And they said, "This religion here, stand in line," and we had to stood in line, 40 people in class, and divided in 4 or 5 religions, and they were going and counting your heads.
Wow.
And this left within me. I still remember it. It question mark, like they
Right.
say something, but then they coming and do completely the opposite, you know.
Right.
And I was asking my parents, but there was no point. I never got answers. All they will tell me, don't. You don't need the other people think that you are strange. I was always strange.
Right.
Yeah, there's so many more examples of that.
But
And
the thing is there's resides within you to seek out that path. And as my mom would say, you had an agenda that was bigger than us, and you
mm,
were to stop at anything to figure out that agenda of the truth of why you were here. And that's the whole thing. There's a drive, it's a hunger, it's a balance, it's a frequency of energy of seeking the truth and the meaning.
And you know what? You chose family that somehow supported you from what you say. But I chose family that in complete not knowing. Like
Right.
the communist Russia took out of them whatever there was.
Right.
Not only that, but I don't want to go to their lives because this is not about them. That's about me. They were completely unconscious. They lived unconscious and they passed away unconscious. I love them dearly, but there was no point to speaking about them, about those kind of stuff, you know.
Right.
You know, moving later to Israel to live since 13 years old, I also was seeking, always. And I thought maybe there I will connect, but I didn't. And I saw discrepancy everywhere, you know, in religion even. Yes. Because, you know, since you know that something is not, something is missing, something is not there. The love that I always were going and asking myself, where is the love and harmony that I remember? It's like I remember something, but and I was looking for it, but it's not there. And you know, my sister, the little one, she one day she was looking from our parents' paperwork because I was stay at home to keep an eye on her. And one day I asked her, "What are you doing? Why do you need all those paperwork?" Like we were 10 years old, still in Russia. She said, "Because it's not my home. This is not my home. This is not, you know." She was more vocal about that stuff. I know because I learned that there's no point in it.
Right.
And that learning kept me, you know, that knowing that there's no point kept me sane.
Yeah.
Because when I was going to the doctors, I didn't believe them since childhood. I didn't needed them then. I needed them like, you know, since 30 years old, 20 years old. But I didn't. They gave me something written that I need to buy. I was throwing to garbage and saying, yeah, I can do myself. That was always like that. Always. I didn't believe the school teachers. I always had questions they couldn't answer. And it kept me, like, you know, it kept me normal, knowing that you are okay.
Right.
Can you imagine if I would believe that doctor now that a couple of years ago told me, like it was like more than 10 years ago. Yeah, I'll give you an example that you'll understand.
Yeah.
And it's already in Canada, like my third country. When my mother passed away, my body was in complete destruction, like completely just collapsing. I went to the doctor because everybody told me I had to go to the doctor. It's very. Anyway, I went. She gave me something saying, you're already on the age. Here is those stickers for you. And understand, I never went. If I went to the doctors, I never bought anything from them.
Right.
I went and looked. I told her, maybe I'm 50, blah, blah, blah. Or she was 40 something. And I went and bought those stickers. But because I didn't believe, I went and read what they creating in my life.
Right.
And I came back to her saying, listen, how can you give somebody stickers that specifically written in 90% of the cases, it's a breast cancer in people that using them. And you gave it to me? Like you found the person the most.
Was that in Israel or where was that?
Canada already.
Canada.
Okay. They're everywhere the same, trust me. On different level, different pictures, different, but it's always the same. I can give you stories from today to tomorrow. I have them. And I told her, you're not ashamed of yourself. You're supposed to be doctor, you know? And she told me, I will never forget it. I will monitor you. I put it on their table, and told her, you know what, monitor yourself. And you in that age, try them and then give them to people.
Right.
By that time, I already was vocal a bit, because doctors, my mother was dying.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I came to her and said, I have a feeling that I can learn it and I can help you. I can
Right.
learn, because I knew by then that I can learn whatever I want to. She said, no, I have doctors. And those doctors, just little by little. Anyway, let's not go in the rant.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that, my childhood and that first picture that I remember kept me like sane, not taking their pills.
Mm-hmm.
What they're saying in schools, take it in with grain of.
Right.
And the last one, when they diagnosed me with that autoimmune, yeah, they gave me all kind of pills. I tried them because I thought maybe, but I felt worse.
Right.
And then, what do you want? You're already in this age. And then something came out of my mouth without me knowing. It was like 10, 15 years old. I don't remember already. I told him my body can heal itself. It just, like always some sentences coming out to me. It
Right.
just, and he looked at me very strange. And I looked too, because, just something that I said. And then that's what I did. I understood they cannot help me.
Yep.
Yeah, they can't help me. Nothing they can do can help me. And I told myself, okay, I wanted to help my mother. Now it's time to help myself.
Yeah.
And then I connected. Then first time I connected. Wow. Years I was looking for
How
it.
was that when you first did that?
It was it was very fast though. Since I connected, it started to move like there's no tomorrow, like something was pushing me and changing me every second. It's just I couldn't just okay. How? There was couple of days, a week that my body completely started to shut up. By that time, I already heard stuff. I already heard something, not from outside, not from external. Yeah, I couldn't walk already. My legs, I couldn't walk. I walked like, pulling my legs already.
Right.
I was like big, like huge.
Right.
At least 20 kilo more than I am now. And I barely could walk because their pills only made me worse. They
Right.
didn't help. They all only made me worse. And my eyes, I couldn't see. The headache was so like, it's like something exploding in my head and moving around. And I could barely see. And I was always hot. It's like heat that I felt like it's heat, like ancient heat. It's coming from something.
Right.
It was very bad. And then I said, okay, what's the point? Anyway, everything that I wanted, I already experienced. There's nothing new that this life can bring to me, nothing new. I had so much money that I flew for 10 years on business classes, and I could buy anything I wanted and been in, yeah, because I didn't tell you that, but I could bring anything I wanted to life. One day I said, I want money
Uh-huh.
and a lot of it because that's what I want to experience. And what do you think? In 4 months, I was doing so much money.
Right.
No one did. Yeah. Yeah, they let me. I didn't know who they are. But anyway, now I'm talking about dying.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And I said, okay, I then I'll die. So what? I already experienced everything I want. And this life, I don't want it. This is not life.
Right.
Because I was always free.
Right.
And then I started to hear something. It was very strange. And coming from my legs, like shutter closing. Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
I had no idea what it is because I didn't know chakras yet and nothing. But I knew that something is closing because my body was like in complete chaos. And then in 3 days, I was lying down on my couch, and again, boom, 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 and it came like here somewhere,
Mhm.
something like that. And I say, oh no, it came here. Sorry, it was here somewhere. And then I said, okay, in 3 days, some boom, 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 my head is covered. That means that I'm dying. That's how I
Right.
figured. I'm probably dying. And then, yeah, I remember that I had a teenager boy. Like, he's not teenager, but he's very, very young adult. And I told myself, you know what? And I don't know who I speak to because I didn't know about angels. I didn't know anything. Not those frequential energies. Who knew about that stuff? I told myself, okay, maybe that's enough reason for me still to be alive because it's very young. It's not like he's 30 or 40. It's just barely, not even, very young. And the second I said it, because I always knew if you want to change something, I remember that I always was manifesting. Whatever, I didn't call it manifesting, but whatever I wanted, I can get it. If I
Right.
want to die, I will let myself die. If I want to, maybe I have a reason to live, then I always knew that I decided not to die, then I need to do something. Because I
Yeah.
always knew that I need to do something. Something.
How did it feel the first time when you started doing healing on another person? How did that experience go for you?
Okay. How that got for me? In the beginning, I was placing my hands on people. And they were like, at start, like as soon as I started to do it, they were like in complete different state, like out of it completely.
Hmm.
A couple of times I did that, even when I was walking somewhere and somebody said, oh my God, I have such a pain here. And people that I don't know just sitting beside me somewhere and saying, okay, do you want me to place my hands on you? Can please? And the pain gone in 4 minutes. Like
Right.
that's how it started. But then, I sensed that I don't have to place my hands on them because something happened and I couldn't place my hands, and I just did that, And then I had an intention, but then I already knew what intention is and meditation is because by the time I started placing, because I learned. Yeah, and then I figured out somehow it happened over the internet, and I saw that it's working. And it's little by little, it always was changing, always. And
Right.
especially when the COVID started, internet. And I already knew that it's helping because I work with my cousins and I work, and they're all over the world, Australia, Israel, whatever you want, United States. I worked with everyone and it's worked, they felt. And sometimes I did meditation, and when you're doing meditation, you bring in so much energy into yourself. And I told myself, okay, too much energy, what we're doing. And I was sending it to people that I know all over the world. But then I was so interested to know if they felt it. And I contacted a couple of them, told them, did you feel something strange like half an hour ago? Couple of them said, oh yeah, I felt such something good coming to me, like love, like I felt so good.
Right.
Yeah, it's beautiful, I love it.
Yeah, that healing energy, when people get to that ultimate healing energy, it has everything in it that you need. Like there's such a
Yes.
love, there's a vibration, and there's just a knowing of like I'm in a complete place that I want to be in and I feel good. And when I do healing for humble healing, it's a numbness. They just feel that numb, 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 and it just it numbs the body and the pain and all that stuff. So, um,
It's interesting.
do you ever are you able to visualize and pick up when people are sick, or do you take on that vision?
Oh no, I don't like sense like you because you do like seeing,
Uh-huh.
I sense different stuff happening to me. When I work with people, something is showing me what to do, and I have visions. visions like you won't believe it. One day I was working on someone, and suddenly I saw a vision like we sit in the middle of the ocean, and you sit in the ocean,
Right.
and whales and dolphins came, and real whales and dolphins, and I told myself, Sonia, don't beep, don't even, nothing. I don't want to hear from you. Quiet, because I knew by then that those visions go so fast. And it continued. The dolphins and whales came and the, to the client, like the voices, they started to heal them. It was so beautiful to notice. And I was sitting like so quietly, and I see it. I even wasn't afraid that I'm sitting in the middle of the ocean. And then when they done, mermaid came. You can, I told myself, oh my God, mermaid came. And she looked out, like she looking from the window, looked at me, and suddenly did something with the tail, gathered the whole ocean, and went away. Can you imagine?
That's crazy.
I see those visions, and oh my God, yeah. I love my visions. Since all that started, I see so many visions, and they guide me, you know? They guide me.
Well, sometimes I don't want them.
You
And
don't want them? I love them.
and it's just because I work in a different field sometimes that I don't want the assignment, and I'm too busy to deal with the assignment. So where some people, they say yes and no, and it seems to be a balance. With me, it just seems to reappear until I do the assignment of that information. So mine are a little more aggressive on getting things done and what needs to be presented. So each person's at a different balance of the information. It comes in a very raw way that your mind and your frequency understands exactly what they're saying. And that's where we talk about how your spirits and your energy, there's a language with you and them that you and them understand, and not everybody else understands it. And that's why when you pick it up, it's a knowing inside, like, I got it, I figured it out. And then
yes, there is that knowing.
You have to understand it. No one else does except you and your guides.
Yes, I do that, because I already asked so many people how they feel and what they feel, and I know what my intention was and who I called, and I call now the same energies that I connected with, and let's say my intention is to balance feminine and masculine, like I did. And I asked them, okay, what did you feel? And they're explaining to me, I felt like my head, something is moving, energy is like moving round and round, and I feel like I didn't want you to finish, and such a bliss, and they're describing the word, the intention, like,
Right.
It's so beautiful, and it's up to what my intention is, but there is more that I learned, because I couldn't stop learning until it's not only it's because when I ask them always, before I'm going to sleep, I always ask my questions. I always ask, in the beginning, I was asking, okay, I manage that. I already know that. It is simple. I know there's more. I always feel there's more. There's more. I want to know more. And they guided me, all the modalities that I learned. It's because I ask at night, and when I was waking up, I heard a word. Like, how about the DNA healing? Because I'm DNA healing activator, and they told me that already a couple of years now. But how I learned, and they said DNA. I asked once, okay, what is my specialty? Like, what am I doing? What is specific to me? Because I know that we're all like unique. And they told me DNA healing. They told me, And one day I asked them, okay, DNA healing, everything good, because I don't go and do something for DNA healing.
Right.
It's just something that happens when I channel, because I channel the energies, and they are golden energies, most of them. But when I already done that, it works. I know it works, and people change their life and everything. I asked them, okay, but I sense there's something still I need to learn. And then when I walked up, I heard sacred geometries.
Uh-huh.
And I said, okay, I'll go and look where I can learn sacred geometries. Yeah. And I learned. And those sacred geometries, it's like they doing the work for you. No, nobody doing the work for you, because I create the like intention, and it's coming through you. Okay. But they are more powerful, they are more potent, you
Right.
know? And they don't, yeah. And they bring their own energies with them, and they open portals. And now the DNA healing, when I put those geometries and work with the geometries on people, their like abilities just open up. And I
Right.
notice as more healings I do, more potent and powerful it becomes.
Right.
And I always like looking for that. Can you imagine if I was doing it like since? Okay, we are not going there. It's all divine timing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
So for your clients now, like when you're setting up sessions, I mean, just kind of go through the process of what it's doing for them, and what, what it's the feedback that you're getting from your clients, and how it's helping you. And because I think every time a client heals, I feel when a client heals, it you learn from that. Every client that heals, I learn from something of them healing, even though you're at a balance of knowledge, but you always learn something new from the situation, and it's never the same. It's always changing.
Always changing. And that's what the beauty is. In every session, I know that information, but it comes to me like it's flying for me, what they need to hear. And sometimes, because I know so much, can you imagine everything that I know? I just will put on the person that sits across me. It just, no, but it channeled, and suddenly they saying, oh, I get it. And okay, they're different, and when I'm working one-on-one and person comes to me only once and he's telling me I need something is disturbing him now, and then I just listen to them. When I talk, I already have a huge list of what they need. Sometimes I ask, okay, what this person needs from me, and download comes, and then I know what I need, a mindset, because I'm a mindset coach as well, what I need to show them that they will understand, because their egoic mind will not accept it without seeing it clearly. But then only information doesn't help, because our heart is not there. I need to channel those energies, and I know exactly what to do, like what to use. Either it's sacred geometries, or it's golden energies. I know exactly,
Right.
because it's all coming to me when they're talking to me. It all like wasn't when I was young. Like people were asking me, well, can you tell me what's wrong? And I just was sitting quietly, and it happens when I am in that stillness,
Mm-hmm.
and
The
it's
stillness, that oneness, that quietness. Yes.
yeah. One day I asked, okay, how do I do that? And they told me, I heard they were saying, I told you that. Yeah. But I saw a vision that I didn't tell you. I saw a vision of quiet, still lake, beautiful blue lake. And I am standing like somewhere, everything looked yellow. And suddenly there's a bird coming, from the horizon. And
Right.
she's flying to me. And when it comes closer to me, it becomes like an angel. It
Mm-hmm.
looked like Yeshua in pictures, like yellow hair, white clothing. And then I was so surprised that the bird becomes something, got form of something
Right.
resemble human. I got out of it. But I understood. They told me it's quiet lake. It's still lake in the now. And that's what I do since I remember myself. I go in and I become so quiet. And when I become so quiet, answers come.
You know, and I think, well, I've told people that there's two hearings in the knowing. There's a hearing in the back of the ear, and people are trying to, and there's a hearing up here. There's two difference. And so that's why people sometimes they can't make out the words. And I'm like, are you getting it from your back of the hearing, or are you getting it from the front of the forehead? Because
I
it's
don't
vibration.
know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't really hear. I don't really hear so much. It's only when I wake up, I hear a sentence or two, and then
Right.
when I wake up, it's gone. It's not like I can hear sentences. Yeah, I had it once, but
Yeah.
then they started speaking on all three languages that I speak, and I was so confused. And I probably startled them because I said, okay, like, when are you starting speaking English now? Because here they started speaking Russian, here they're coming to speak in Hebrew. And
Right.
then I said, and my monkey mind came on, saying, oh, okay, where's the English coming and where it will be, like, you know? And when you're starting to talk too much, it disappeared. But it's okay, it will come.
Well, the back hearing, when I don't understand the language sometimes that they present, and my mind is like trying to fixate it, they're like, just say it. And the person that needs the message will understand the language, even know that you don't understand what you're saying, but you're still giving the message to the person or the situation. So that takes a lot of, to be comfortable in that and that balance with that, your guide, and being able to translate the information, because a lot of the stuff I do get, I'm like, I don't understand what this means, but okay, I'll translate it. So yep, that trust with spirit is the big process.
I do that too. In the session, people want to know if there's a message for them. I don't know. They're always asking me since the beginning. And I connect to my higher self somehow, and I ask their higher self if there's a message there. And then I see it as something happening in my heart. I can feel some movement there and some picture created. And I can see this picture. Yeah. And when I'm telling them, they think, wow, how did you know? Like, you know, because this picture doesn't make any sense to me. But when I'm describing it, it's something that makes sense to them. And this is so beautiful to see it, you know, it's just.
Right. It is. It's so pure of light.
It is. I love this journey. I cannot say that this journey was easy on me, because since I started, it was always changing. You know, you think you know something, but no, there's more, and it's never ending. You know, even my healings, they changed so fast. The way I work, I barely had 10 clients placing hands on them, and then it's changed already. You know, you don't need to place hands because I can see.
Because you change and develop in your ability. Yeah.
And people asking me, how long are you doing it? But they're saying, I'm doing it 15 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't look at what you're doing, or because I know it's a journey and it will change. What I do now, and I think, it's good. In half a year, where will I be? But if I believe the tree that told me when I ask where I'm going, in half a year to a year, it's already completely different consciousness for me.
See, and then when you're very young, because no one guides you or tells you what you need to do, and for myself too, I had to find a way. I used to fidget because I had so much energy that would hit my body, and I didn't know what to do. So I was like 8 or 9, I would have to fidget because I'm like, what do I do with this? Because no one taught me to do it. And that's the thing now, is our generation is more open to helping the younger ones understand what they're dealing with, instead of just, well, don't worry about it. You're wrong. It's just something in your head. And now we're at a point, the healers these days can actually help children at a younger standing, and it helps their balance. It helps them make their choice in their path, and that's what healers are for. They're to lead people and help them heal and find their path and find their balance. That's the
You
whole
know,
thing it's about.
I would love to do that in the future. I don't know what I will be doing in the future when all this will change, but I feel that something is doing it so fast and pushing me so fast to go
Right.
through the stages. Um, it's preparing me for something that I know. Because you know how all that started? I had no idea of all that I know now.
Right.
Um, sorry, it's so hot in here for some reason today. Anyway,
Energy. It's the
wait,
energy. It does
no,
that.
no, it's not the energy. It was like minus plus 3 yesterday, and today it's already plus 20, and it's hot in here.
Mhm.
Anyway, that's not a problem. And the energy, maybe, yes. Yeah, the first thing, like it was so fast, I cannot believe it. I barely stood up. I barely started to feel good. Like, in physical, I changed everything. All my food, everything barely started to feel good. And I researched on a lot. Like I wanted to know everything. And every time the word was coming that I didn't know, I researched it and another world opened up to me. And another world opened. And one day I was reading some conscious magazine. I didn't know that they existed like a week before. And there was a woman describing she went to some kind of place and there was 4 ceremonies and she describing it like her life changed, and it was such a beautiful description of the heart open. And I told myself, oh my God, I have to be there. I have to be there tomorrow.
Right.
I just wanted, that was the most important thing for me in my life. And I went there. It was a different country, Costa Rica somewhere. Yeah, in Costa Rica.
Yeah, there's a lot of high vibration there. But even
Yeah.
like I'm doing a project on Israel right now because I've been predicting this thing with the that it would be the last war, the last process, the
I
last energy.
so much hope so.
Yeah. And now we're in the thick of that energy. And like I said, if people need to be paying attention above in the sky, in the oceans, in the rivers, and paying attention to that energy and not what they're trying to have you focus on. Because if you're listening, it's going to lead you to the truth.
This is true, but uh, at least no, probably not all people, because there are many shamans in Israel and many healers. Today I know that, but when I was searching for them, I couldn't see one. But the healer, the shaman that helped my heart open up was Israeli. Such a beautiful soul. And I'm telling, where were you when I needed you? When I was in my 20s, I was looking for you everywhere.
Right.
Yeah. Probably I needed to go through life, grow up a little bit. Yeah. Where was I? Yeah. And those wars, they're unending. I lived there. I lived there. And people in stress,
Yeah.
I lived through so many wars, and people in stress, and they don't know this information.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever knows, there are not so many that knows, but they're shamans, yeah, and energy healers, but even they don't feel that know what you're teaching or what you're saying.
Right.
If I'll say what you're saying to somebody, like people that I know, they won't believe me. They won't call me names because it's not happening to me anymore. Like, I'm in my power, and they change too on some level, that's happening.
Right.
But they will not believe me. They will say that I'm probably imagining it.
Well, that's what you call a limited veil of understanding. That's why
they don't know anything.
It's not going to comprehend into the veil.
And they will not accept it as well.
Right.
It's very difficult for them to accept that they live in Israel. Like this is a land of, continue.
Right.
How can it be possible? But why I left? I'll give you a story of why I left. If in the 80s you would tell me that I will leave Israel, I will tell you crazy. This is the most beautiful, magical place in the world. And it is. I was walking every mountain, and it was magical place in the world. But they killed Rabin in 95, and
Uh-huh.
for me, they killed Israel for me, because I too believed that this magical place can create magic in the world. I was
Right.
so naive, because I always wanted magic. I told myself, if not in Israel, where it can be, because
Right.
harmony and love, I thought I will find it there.
Right.
No, because I also was looking outside of me. I didn't know that I need to look within.
Mm-hmm.
And they killed Rabin.
Yep. Rabbi. Yep.
And yeah, I don't know if you're, but okay. And I understood, no, this
Mm-hmm.
is will never change. And
Right.
couple of years passed, you're not immediately just, I looking at the news, because I told myself, no, those people, I don't believe them. That's
Mm-hmm.
all. That's all.
Right.
It's like they done for me. And when they done for me, Israel is done for me for that moment. And I left,
Yep.
because they
That's
done for me.
strong decision to do, and it's a good decision to do.
That's always I did those decisions. For me, it was like easy once I got it, and I got it.
So, and I think the confusion in that land is like a pile of churches on top because they want you to focus on other things. But what Spirit has told me, there's an energy beneath it that's going to surface, whether it's going to be drowned out by water, but it's going to come to the surface. And we're in those days of things. And I'm actually doing the drawings and the interpretation of that information because it's all distraction to keep you distracted. So going back to the original time that was before then, and I'm hearing the word Anunnaki, Anunnaki. So I'm putting some things together on that process, but you have to look at this world and go, what they want you to focus on. You always want to look on the outside of it, you want to look above it, and you want to look underneath it because you want to seek the truth that's really going on in that area that's confusing you right now.
And I'm so happy that I opened my eyes eventually and didn't die, because the life that I was looking for I opened up to it. Something allowed me to open up to it,
Right. And that's the thing
I do trust that what you're saying is true. Like, because it feels true, and I'm going by my heart. Oh yeah, that story, that how it all happened for me. It's so many stories, but okay, I'll tell you that because it's interesting. I went to Costa Rica, and listen, ayahuasca, a week before, I didn't know that existed. Oh, this word exists. I didn't know what ayahuasca is, but from that what she described, I knew that I wanted. And they were discussing whatever you do before you taking that shot of whatever gooey thingy there was, you have to ask for healing your heart.
Right.
And I didn't understand it,
Right.
the importance of it. I just did the ask. I did because I didn't know for what else to ask. I was still sick, very sick, but but already can walk and fly and do stuff, not lying down,
Right.
and I went. And I listened, I told myself, so many people here, 60 people we were. And I will do. I suffered from all 4 days of ceremonies. Yeah, there were visions and there knowing coming up, and it felt like a memory. I started to remember, but they couldn't heal my heart. I knew that. I almost died there too. This is the second time of dying for me. Yeah, but on the 4th day, with that Israeli shaman, he called me because I was the one from Israel, although I was from Canada. I was living in Canada. He called me to just talk to him. Yeah, I told him everything. Oh, I told him about the story that I saw with those gnomes. I told him the story that they left me and I want them back. I don't know why I told him. I told him I want them back. He said, okay, don't worry about it. They will come back. Like they ever. Anyway, I'm not going to teach you now. Anyway, and yeah. And I told him that the previous shamans, 3 days before, every day was different shaman. they tried the beautiful, and images and visions were beautiful, but my heart is not healed.
Right.
Can you help me? And I told him that I have this autoimmune thingy. And he said, it will be okay. It will be okay. From 2 p.m. until 7 in the morning, he was working on us,
Hmm.
suffering like hell. I was. The young ones were like enjoying every second of their life. But I was suffering, and um, suddenly somebody came to me and started like shake me. Sonia, whatever you do, don't stop breath. Don't stop breathing. Like,
Right.
okay, okay, I'll start because I remember what I saw. I saw like something dark coming on me, and the
Uh-huh.
dark energies comes little by little and envelop me completely. And I felt like I'm dying, the dark energies coming and closing on you. And I said, okay, he couldn't heal me as well, and I'm dying. And I said goodbye again to everyone and to
Hmm.
myself. And I'm sorry, I tried, it was very, and I started crying. And afterwards, I just stopped my breath. And somebody ran and just shaked me. No, 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 you're not stopping your breath now.
Right.
And still, it couldn't help me. When in the last second, and everything happens this way for me, when I let go, something happens. It was already 6 o'clock in the morning. They called a circle of people every time, and my circle came like at 6 o'clock in the morning. When 7, it's already done. We're going home soon.
Right.
And it worked, and suddenly I saw a vision of my heart. Before I saw my vision of like my heart with all this chords and gray and dying. And then only the last second when I said, okay, he can't. He is so powerful, but he can't help me. It's
Hmm.
okay. At least he's tried.
Right.
And I tried as well. It's okay. And then boom, I see a vision of myself with that like a star, just colorful with all the colors of the rainbow,
Right.
happy on my back, like when I was walking like that with my baby when I was a baby, on my back, like like the African ladies. And it was powerful and happy. And I said, oh my God, he succeeded to heal my heart. And I
Hmm.
can feel the love when I'm working on people. It's visceral. You can feel the love coming of you.
Right.
It's
It's a different
so
love too
strange.
that's healing within. That's a different love
Yeah,
than humans understand because it does radiate from inside out.
yes.
It does.
Some people don't understand it. They feel that I love them. It's always
Hmm.
happened to me. Even when I didn't know anything about it, I always loved people. For me, there was no difference. People, it's people. Since childhood, when person said, "Oh, is African black?" or I didn't understand why they speaking this way, you know, because for me, people always were people. You know,
Right.
I never looked at what they is saying about themselves, their color or really. I didn't care. I didn't believe in religions because I didn't believe in any system since childhood. It was I called it my power because it helped me, like not to do foolish stuff. Yeah, and now. Even not now, it's already like 20 years. I'm wandering around, and sometimes people think I love them. It's not personal love. It's just probably without me knowing, my heart just
Right.
did it
So
anyway.
it's what you call an inner link of a consistent of energy that's linked to everything. And there's a vibration that stays within it, but it brings that warmth and security, and everybody's at the same consistency of love. And that's why I always show my students when I'm teaching class, push your heart out, push it out this way, and you're going to feel that back because you're giving something unconditional away, and it's going to return. So it's
Yeah, it's so
important
beautiful.
to understand that, it's
Yeah.
unconditional.
It's
And
unconditional, and it feels so good, and it's like energy that comes, like it's your heart grows up and your energy just comes out. And
yeah,
when I worked with you, and I asked question, okay, because every time I saw that my purpose changed, like every time I asked, but now I asked last time, okay, what am I going, what are you preparing me for? What am I being prepared for? And they showed me an image of me, like tall one, and other people, like it's symbolic. The images and
Right.
the images are symbolic. It's not like one-to-one. And I hold their hand and I bring them towards some kind of veil, white. And you
Mhm.
can see that beyond the veil, there's somebody moving and stuff going on there. But there's a veil, and I bring them, and as closer we come into the veil, their hearts suddenly open up. And I see it in the vision, and whoa.
Right.
And then I bring them through the veil, and every other people, and hugging them and loving them, and so happy that they came over. And I'm saying, oh, I see. I see.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
see. Yeah, I see. I don't want to say about it anything now because I want to see it happening
Right.
first.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And it's so
Have you ever
beautiful.
done any healing for animals? Have you done any, that type of healing with
Which one?
animals? Any type of animal,
Animals. My brother has many animals in his home because
right?
I don't want to say why, but they have like 4 or 5 or 6 of them. And those animals, every time I'm coming to them, they were coming and sitting around me, you know, and I feel the cats. I feel the cats can understand what I'm saying or thinking.
Right.
No, yes, I did heal one, but it's because I heal his person, and he just couldn't be out. He just has to sit.
Right.
Heal both of them.
Right.
Yeah, I know somehow I connected to them too because I can sense them. I can sense them, but I don't have a cat or dog now in my life, you know?
Right.
I
I
don't.
think with animals, it's a pure door. It's their whole thing about them is just being completely in the moment and showing who they originally are. And that's why when I do mediumship on animal communication versus humans, there's another layer I have to go through when I do communication for humans. But the animals are always so giving, so
Mm.
putting it out there, so communicative, so empathic, just instantly, spontaneous, quick. And I love that. I that's why I can be around animals 24/7 and never get tired of it because
Oh
it's
no,
so
I love them.
so simple, so
All my
simple.
life I love them. All my life. But when I got sick, yeah, you know, my doggy had got sick too, and I didn't understand why everybody around me sick until I got it. I'm sick, and my dog only reflects to me. My son only reflects to me until I get it. And when
Right,
I got it, I told myself, okay, I'm not in place to help him, and I found him a woman that just loves him and take good care of him, and crying, I just gave him away that she will take care of him because it was too hard for me.
it is. It is
It
very
was
hard.
no, in that situation that I would never give him away. I love dogs and cats. Yeah, I love them, and they are on much higher frequency. You know that they are unconditionally loving. They don't need to go to ayahuasca ceremony that their heart will open. They
Yeah, but if they
already
don't like you, they let you know. And if they love you, cats let you know too. So they're on one side of the fence or the other. They're either going to like you or they're going to love you to death. And if they
oh
don't like
no,
you, boy, are they good at telling you.
they love me. They love me very much. Even when I'm walking here in the park and somebody walks with a dog, their dog want to come to me. And they're,
Hmm. Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they're go looking at me like he wants to say to me something, but it's too short for me to focus because I
Right.
need to go to that quiet lake, you know.
Yeah.
Without it, I cannot connect.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I want to get into what you're offering for people and how you're doing that and how they can contact you and set up a time with you.
Oh, I have my website. It's
Uh-huh.
https slash sonianahum.com. It's very easy.
Yeah.
And you have here
Yeah, I
some
put it on there too. And
Yeah,
then,
but not www because it's different. It's HTTPS. Oh, they can write sonianahum.com.
uh-huh.
It usually comes with
And
that.
what are
Also,
you offering on that site?
oh, very simple. I make simple for people. I offer them one session of hour and a half,
Uh-huh.
and in that session, I listen to them, going to that quiet state, channeling what they need to know, give them tools to
Mm-hmm.
practice at home by themselves, and then the other half of the time it's the energy healing, because I feel like people, it's like my journey. If somebody will tell me all this stuff without my mind understanding, I will not accept it, because I
Right.
don't accept like only because you're saying those.
Right.
I needed to understand, but without the love and the unconditional love and changing and bringing that new energy into you, nothing can happen.
Right.
Nothing. But only energy too, I experience it. Only energy, it doesn't work as well, because I went to many healers when I was sick, and I felt good for 3-4 days, but then problem comes back.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know your
Mm-hmm.
mindset. The
Yeah.
mindset we create our, I can heal you from anything, but if your mindset is the same and you're not, yeah, and then now I'm speaking to all the people. If your mindset is the same and you're not working on yourself and you're not changing, and not growing in consciousness, you
Mm-hmm.
will create any problem in your life.
Right.
And now with those very powerful energies that coming towards us, I see people with a lots of anxiety. It's only because they don't understand who they are. They
Right.
don't understand that they're powerful creators, and they create any chaos in their life. And that's why I change their mindset. I give them tools to continue doing it at home on the level that they can understand, and doing that energy healing from so many modalities that I have, but now I'm focusing more on sacred geometries and golden energies, because they are so powerful. I don't need to go to any previous modalities because they are
Right.
already set.
Right.
But when you have in your hand something powerful, why would you go to beginning? There's no point in it. And wow, like last lady that took only one session and not continued with the program, but she sent me a message saying, Sonia, to the group. I have a group too. So thank you. Something, my energy shifted. And she came, her face was some way, but when she left, her face was like completely different.
Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
And
call it when I have people come physically to my office. They come in like a wet dog and they leave like, I don't care. It's like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That's how they leave me. Like, oh, what was that? What- It moved, it came, it went.
Hmm.
And
Exactly.
what you
Exactly.
are. You just have no idea what you are.
Yeah.
And most of them, though, when they knowing it, and they know that that aspect of their life that completely collapsed cannot change only with one session.
Right.
If you're in
Exactly.
fear of your abusive husband, and yeah, you will come to my session and you will see the possibilities. You will experience it on your life, that free on your body, that freedom that I give you, and the mindset and picture I create in their mind, where they can go, what they can live.
Uh-huh.
And they want that. And
Right.
they understand it one time only when it's not possible. I have a program that completely focused on their needs and their wants. It's 8 weeks, once a week. I give them tools, they practice, they're always in connection with me. They can message me anytime they want. And every week I build and build on top of their knowledge, and powerful and more powerful frequencies, because I cannot push on them a higher frequency of sacred geometry. It will be disturbing. They will feel it. I build it, too.
Right.
First of all, simpler, then elaborate. And then what happened is, and I already noticed happens like always, around first 4 sessions, they're still in their monkey mind and still creating. It's like never can change. It will never happen for me. But then 5th, something click, and the 6th, their session, their abilities, some kind of coming online. Either they start hearing, or they start seeing, or knowing, or feeling. Something comes online. And the 7th, 8th, I only fine tune, and then because I teach them how to deal with triggers, how to look at it, what to do. Well, yeah, I teach them everything that they need to know to change their life. In 8th session, they can go without me. But what happens that a month or 2, they're coming back saying, "Oh, I just need a refresher. Do you have something for me?" Yeah, enjoy.
So we got about 2 more minutes left. So if there's anything you want to say to them or communicate with them, this would be the time so that you can.
Just telling people, life is beautiful. It's beautiful, and it's only one tiny mindset belief change away, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you open your eyes and you cannot ever close it. And just we live in fear because that's what we indoctrinated into it since childhood. Our parents, nothing to blame because they indoctrinated as well, you know. Just allow yourself, you know that life is changing. And if you don't know, just try once to see how it feels and go from there. But it's not about that fear. It's that fear is killing us. That fear has almost killed me.
Mm-hmm.
I remember in the last second that I'm powerful, you know. It happened because I needed to know both sides, how to be free and how not to, and then come back to freedom again. And now I can, because I can understand. Because I know if I'm always free, how can I understand somebody else?
And I think that's the point that the humans need to understand, and a human understanding that you are your oneness. No one is in control of you. And once you take back that power, everything else falls to the side and you're walking your true path. That is the thing. Stay out of fear. Don't ever allow anything to empower you, and follow the light.
That's true. That's why I created this program, because you know they're going and taking those free things that people put, but it's it's not that. You need like focus on you. Somebody that will take. I wish I had what I give people, like meet somebody like that when I was looking.
Right.
The one that give me everything that he knows, but in condensed way. Like, that I will not waste 15 years.
So, So now you guys kind of know Sonia's story, and then I will bring her back on because I do love her energy and stuff like that. And this is just an introduction of her, but you guys have her website, know how to get in contact with her. So listen to her story, try her out, because I think
website you'll find how to go to my group. Awaken your inner power, because I have a group. There are people there.
When you come back on YouTube on this, you can put the link underneath there too, and they can look at that too.
Yes, I will do that. I will do that for them, because it's important now. Now it's more important that we have every person that's ready, in the awaken.
Right.
We have to change what they prescribe us, because I do not believe in prescription. I believe in creating our own life.
So everybody, I'm glad you came on and watched this presentation with Sonia. And the thing that I would say to you is stay in the light, stay balanced, walk through the fire. And I will be doing a video in a couple days about the drawings that I've done. So you guys take care.
Thank you, Jenny, for all your knowledge to us.
You're welcome. You're a gem.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.